Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Yes, I am back. I'm thinking that even in America today, there are still a lot of decent people out here in America. People that are good and kind, people who have compassion for one another, people who work hard and contribute to life, people who care about one another, they participate in events in the community, in the church, and the world at large. I believe that there are some people out there that are committed to life and want things better, even though they see some things perhaps that might be, as far as they are concerned, out of their hands to change, but still hope and pray, and they're looking forward to that day when everything was going to be all right. But as one who calls himself a spokesman for an invisible power, a power that can't be seen, can't be touched, can't be felt, you can't emotionalize it to the extent of a reality. No, one who stands at the door of death, and a power unbeknownst to such a one, invisible, comes into play. And without doubt, without any wonderment whatsoever, but with assurance and certainty, all doubt removed, saves a life. Saves a life for a purpose, not given at that time, but to be advised of at a later date. Ladies and gentlemen, when that happens and that time comes, then such a one has a duty, a responsibility, and an obligation. And it is because of one's own fallings and shortcomings that the hope and faith is still there in the human race. But I'd like to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'd like for you to be honest with yourselves. How would you like to live in peace? I mean, really, at peace with everyone. How would you like to live prosperous? I mean, really prosperous. How would you like to live free? You know how wonderful freedom is? When you think about all the clutches you got, all the crutches, when you think about all the cuffs, when you think about all the keys and chains that binds you almost in every way and everything, doesn't it even gives you fresh air just to think about freedom? What about true freedom? Wouldn't it be wonderful? What about joy? Do you ever think about joy in life? I'm sure, and I'd like to hope that at least some of you feel a measure of joy every now and then. But what about the idea of living a joyous life? Not every now and then a notice, but living from day to day joyously. Sounds good to me. How many of you consider living a life where your dreams are not just dreams forever? They come true. Literally, your dreams, whatever they might be, come true. Wouldn't that be nice? How many of you think about these things? How many of you just think about these things in your life? Peace, prosperity, freedom, joy, and the fulfillment of your dreams. That sounds magnificent to me. That's why I'm so glad, ladies and gentlemen, that I can stand before you today and talk about such as this. I want it. I'm sure every last one of you want it. Ladies and gentlemen, the information that I was saved to share with you is that these things were made for you even before you were made. And then you were made. But have you ever really given some thought about why you were made? I'm sure you do. I'm sure we all do. Why am I here? This thought has to cross everybody's mind. Well, I have a message for you, ladies and gentlemen. You were created here to create. You were created to create. Such as God's assistant. You, my friends, are here to create. You didn't know that, did you? You've been wondering all your life. And what does that mean? We'll get to it, but you were made to create as God's assistant. You are put on this earth. The plan is magnificent. All of you wonderful people. You were put on this earth. And one of your most major concerns, in fact, it is perhaps your most major concern, and that is survival. Whether it's one person or 8 billion people, the number one concern once you realize you're here is survival. How do you survive? Now, this invisible power that you can't see, that you can't touch and you cannot feel, for your survival, all of those resources necessary have been planted here, either on the earth, in the earth, above the earth. Some of it seen, some of it unseen. All the necessary resources for everyone's survival, whether 1 or 8 billion. And it is all provided for by the unknown, the invisible power. My friends, no human had a hand in this process. No human can claim anything that was created by the unknown as their own. The air, you can't claim it. You had nothing to do with it. Oxygen, you can't claim it. Humans can't claim it. They had nothing to do with it. The land, humans can't claim it. They got nothing to do with it. The water, humans can't claim it. They had nothing to do with it. None of the minerals or any natural resources of the earth, humans can't claim it. They had nothing to do with it. All natural resources are for the usage determined by humans, for humans, except personal ownership. Now that's something that you probably got to smoke on. Because in this society, that doesn't work. But ladies and gentlemen, humans exist at the hands of an unknown, invisible power. And like all other natural resources, humans belong to the same creator and purpose. Each human comes to the earth with a high level desire to survive. Thus, each human, amongst all the things each one can do, they bring a special gift which allows them to participate in the creative process. The creative process of manifesting those necessities for survival, which includes but not limited to food, clothing, shelter, education, health care. These, my friends, my sisters, and my brothers, are inalienable rights, not to be infringed upon. What am I saying? I'm saying just like man cannot claim water, air, oxygen, land, human beings can't claim that. That was done by a power unseen. All humans require the necessities for survival. That was given to them by their creator, and as they are named, every human being are entitled to them. The resources are provided, and the assistance, the participation from those who benefit from it have been designed in such a way when it is employed, it will produce back enough for every human. For these rights, these inalienable rights, just as solid as the land, as the water, as the oxygen, just as real. And so they must be met, not to be infringed upon. The plan, every human's, their part gives to play in the creative process brings with it the greatest joy. You remember talking about the joy? And it brings with it an unlimited supply of support for everything that needs to be done, thereby creating enough of what humans need, what humans want, what humans desire, so that there isn't enough room to contain all that is being really produced. So humans suffer for nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear what I just said? There's a plan that's laid out for your life even before you came on this earth. Has been available to you from the beginning up until this very day for you to experience heaven on earth. The only reason that you are not experiencing it right now is because you have not known of it. Nobody's been telling you about it. So you don't know anything about it, number one. And number two, because you know of something else, it is not directing you to this path. In fact, it's doing everything it possibly can to keep you from being interested in this path. Humans having to suffer for nothing. And what else does it do? It creates free time for pleasurable labor. All of this labor and people enjoying it, you don't get a chance to work 8 hours. You'd be lucky to work 2 or 3 hours a day, and the rest of it is free time to do other things that you're interested in. And with all this technological advances and super intelligence that is being manufactured, that artificial stuff, to take your place in the labor force, which frees you up, ladies and gentlemen, for the magnificence of your imagination, which is brought so much into being, that allows you to travel between here, the Mars, and the moon, and whatever galaxy we have been used to create the paths to. Oh, my brothers. Whew. This is my current proposal to you, ladies and gentlemen. This has always been available to us. And it is available to us now. Me, myself, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't mind experiencing that with you in my lifetime. I know most people have been trained to believe that that can only happen after you die. You know, that's the part of the program. You here on earth, you separate God from you, from the state. And when you separate God from anything, it's hellish, devilish, there's nothing good about it. When you separate it, the only way you're going to have something good is when God is going along with it. Look, men promise what they can do for you. Politicians promise what they can do for you. Give them a chance. They'll do this, they'll do that. They've been doing that, saying that, ever since the beginning of time, because that's part of the plan. When you walked away, doing others. And what that others mean is an expression of choice to not walk with the plan that produces what we just got through talking about. And over time, you're born into this and you think that that is it. But the other plans of men, without God, you know, I say again, separate from God, as they talk about state. Every approach to everything is ungodly. Now, you've been taught to believe that that's okay. Look around. I want to say to you, communism, socialism, and democracies, and capitalisms, and dictatorships, and these other systems, and their plans, they only represent different approaches to what they have chosen to allow you to accept and believe as life. But each one has the same outcome. They are plans of men supported by and with money. They are plans of men supported with and by money. You see, ladies and gentlemen, with the original plan, it's the joy of life, and we are all one together working for the joy of all of us, knowing that it's no fun to play by yourself. It might be a little fun to play with one or two, but how much fun can it be if you can play with everyone and everybody brings something to the game? And that's life becomes a game as we create. That's natural. That's as natural as the sun shining. It's as natural as the seasons. But when man comes on the scene, rather than be that natural, they want to throw into it something called money. Let that be your motivation. You don't have to like them. You don't have to like that. You don't have to. You don't, in fact, why not? Why? You got the money. You're bigger and better. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what they produce. Every last one of them. Every human experience on the face of the earth. I don't care whose father started it. It could be your founding fathers, or the communist founding fathers, or the socialist founding fathers, or everybody's founding fathers. If it ain't the real man, they produce haves and have-nots. Now you know what that's like. Some got and some don't. Woo! How can you be satisfied with that? Something seems to be wrong with that. Well, I guess it is, because what it does, it creates poverty. And out of that we have crime and violence. And from all of that we have the standing up of lying and cheating, stealing and killing, undereducated, under-health cared, hatred, bigotry, terror, racism, war, pain and suffering, ghettos, gun violence, ethnic cleansing, stagnant growth, genocides, so on and so forth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me say that. You know that is all over America. And you know that you have heard it's all over every other place in the world. And all of those places have left God out of their daily existence. And this is the result. And we are in the midst of it. We did not know the other way, because those who talked to us about God told us that we had to die before we could ever experience it. They told us that we couldn't even enjoy life if we praised God, that we couldn't even party. We couldn't even show our skin and flesh on the outside of the house. They told us all kind of stuff to make us hate God, because there were things that came so natural to us, they made us think it was demonic if we engaged ourselves in it. And so they made God look like something we didn't want to touch with us, because it was a dirty rag. And when we did, we were forced to by somebody else forcing us through some, whatever force they use. Us going through such hard times, we just fall over there hoping that something going to come out of our falling over there. Oh, they presented God bad. But I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, everything that life is about, life, I'm talking about the junk, everything that life is about, as I described earlier, is God. When you eliminate the lying, the cheating, and those things I just got through mentioning, when you eliminate that, everything else is God. Everything else is God. What does that mean? That means everything else is yours to do with as you see fit. You are the creators. Your imagination. And whatever you need that you don't have, it's going to be born in a few minutes. Somebody going to give a baby, going to bring some babies in the world to bring that stuff to us. But now all you got to do is change your mind. Change your mind from all of the stuff. Now, right now in the United States, you got a presidential candidate thing going on. Somebody want to pray you what they're going to do for you. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. The only time you can have heaven on earth is when you, the people, individually make up your mind that you are tired of the bull and you're ready for the best, and you're going to give all you can. And together, that's going to be the test. And when you do that, it's over. Hell is over. This other stuff I know right now, what I'm telling you is fantastic and great, but there's no way. I mean, there could be a flood coming to wipe out the world. There's no way you're going to accept this beautiful stuff. And you'll still trust American way. And you're going to vote for Trump or the Democrats. And they got nothing to offer you but the more of the same. Stay with Trump, you're going to run down the hill a little quicker. Go with the Democrats, you're going down the hill just a little bit slower. And you're not going to come back until you wake up. Yes, you've heard the story about Jesus. Jesus forgiving you and your sins and all that. Accept that. Fantastic. But I'm going to tell you something about heaven. Nobody getting through that door that ain't ready. And how do you determine when you're ready? When you accept nothing else. When you stand up and resist everything else. Everything else that's been delivered to you, you resist it because it's not heaven. And you don't want anything else but heaven. What does that mean? That means treating people like you want to be treated, like it described in the first part. That's what it means. And so, ladies and gentlemen, having said that to you, I think I better leave it right now. And sorry for talking to you so long, but I know you're glad I did. So until next time, if there is to be one, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.